This is Let's Talk AI from the Sarasota Technology User Group in Sarasota, Florida. I'm Hewie Poplock. I sit in Bradenton, about a couple of miles north of Sarasota. I'm glad you're here. We talk about AI. It's more of a discussion group, and it is and a show and tell than it is a teaching or a presentation. And so I urge all of you to participate, ask questions, give answers, talk about some of the things that you've been working with. I Sorry I got my newsletter out. I'm just glad I got it out. I got it out late, but last night, so hopefully you did get to read it. I'm sure you didn't click on many, if any, of the links I had in it. I did not get to make my list of all of the videos that I've indicated in my files to make a list of new videos on AI. I will try to get that done by next month when I get my computer back, and so I'll have one for each of the months. But I did send in that newsletter some links and then some ideas and some things. So hopefully, if you haven't read it yet, you just kind of browsed it, please go back and we're going to talk about some of the links. We may not get to all of them that I think there were four or five that I posted in there. And before we get started, is there any pressing comments, questions? Walter sent me something earlier this week. I'm not sure if anyone, I don't think anyone else that's on here has sent anything to me, but by all means, when you do, I do look them over and I appreciate it, even if I don't get right back to you. I'm trying to pare down my couple of hundred emails a day. Uh, I can't get through them all. There are a lot of them are AI newsletters, and they have so much good information, and so I had to click a link and that gets me somewhere else. All of a sudden I'm in a rabbit hole installing software, and then I have to bring up my password manager to put all the information in, so when I go back to it I'll have how to sign in and so on. So it just takes, by the time I read one newsletter I got four more sitting in there. So I am trying to set up a website to send all my newsletters to it and not have them in my regular emails. And I've started that, but I have not cleaned out all of them yet. So anyway, I'm glad you're here. And is there anything pressing, or should I get started with Yupp? Anything?
Yep.
Okay, let's go to Yupp. Let me share my screen. Let's hope it all works here. And I need to share the sound, I think. I don't know whether I do. And go ahead and do that. So you should see my screen now. Let's see, can I minimize this? And I have here, Yupp, and I think I have it already sitting here. Yeah. Okay, I'm at the login script screen for Yupp. It's yupp.ai. It's in the newsletter. There's a
We're
link to
still
it.
just seeing your desktop right now.
Oh,
You've
oh,
got
I know
a
why. I know
you've
why.
got a
Hang on.
French Villa one on the lake.
Yep, yep. Let me I got to stop the share. Where's that on my screen? Good question. It's over here on this screen. And move this out of the way. Okay, let me stop the share and then reshare using the right screen. I'm using screen two and not screen one like I usually use. Now you should see it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then over here are my notes that I will refer to on a couple of these things. So let's go ahead and full screen it so you can see it better. And when you go to Yupp, this is what you get. And I'm going to sign in with Google. I don't like this verifying using Cloudflare. A lot of times it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't had it fail on mine.
Oh, I have a lot, and it may now
Yeah.
I may have to do this. I find that it works better in Edge than it does in. Yep, it didn't. Yep. it failed. Let me try it
Oh,
one more time, then I'll switch over to Edge. Doesn't give you any way to get around this. Sometimes I've done it, and after about the fifth time, nope, didn't do it. So let's go ahead. I'll minimize this, and I am going to bring up Edge, and it's probably on the other screen. No, it's here. Good. All right, and we'll go to the same place, yupp.ai. You'll see the little things. Let's see. Oh, it knows I've already been signed in, so it doesn't have to go through the sign in. So I'm right here. Let's see if it remembers what I did. Profile. What does this do? Leaderboard chat. No. Okay, it doesn't remember what I did. I was hoping it would. Knows it's me. And you get points. And I've already accumulated, oh, this is Microsoft's points. Let's see, there's points in Yupp, getting started with Yupp and so on. Oh, here's profile. Let's see what it shows me. I got 5,000 points, Yupp points. You start out with zero, but you have to ask it something and then it gives you you get a scratch off screen. We'll see how that goes here. And so I've won, I've used 100 of them so far. Feedback given, and you have to give feedback and you get more. In the top models, you can use GPT 4.0, 4.1, and something called Virtuoso. Uh, and let's see, cache out, no, edit profile, no. So I want to go ahead and chat. So let's ask it to do something for us. Um, what is somebody got something that they want to ask? Anybody? Suggestion? I thought it was going to pick up where I had left off, but that was apparently a different one. But and I thought it would give me what I've already asked it, and I don't see leaderboard, no profile, help. So apparently it doesn't keep track unless I click that. There we go. Yeah, here it is. Okay, here's what I did. All right. What I did is I said, let me go to the top. Good, so I don't have to do this all over again. It says, I want to start a blog about comedians that are funny. Growing up, I would laugh out loud at Jack Benny, George Carlin, Stephen Wright, Henny Youngman, Rodney Dangerfield, Robin Williams, and more. Very few comedians are as funny. I have made a list of several that make me laugh. Here's a list, and let's see, they just aren't there. Um, there we go. And so I made a list of the ones that I have been watching and I think are really funny and make me laugh. And so it responded with, that's a great list. Highlight their best jokes and unique styles. Uh, so what I did is when I clicked go ahead and do it, uh, it gave me two choices. One from RCAI Virtuoso and one from Llama. Uh, I'm not sure what that is, but it gives you two choices. And then when you get to the bottom, it says, I prefer this or I prefer this. And then it'll ask you why you prefer it. And you give it a reason and maybe type in a few more things about it. And when you do, it gives you a scratch off. Well, I'll try to show you that in just a moment. It says, and then I said, give me a great introduction to the. So I chose the one on the left. the long one with lots of information. I believe I did. And then I said, give me a great introduction to the series of comedians that I'm going to feature. Then, starting with Andy Huggins, let's talk about his background style and a few jokes from one of his YouTube videos that will be mentioned in the article. And then I gave a list of video, a link to a video. And then it says, quick take, get ready to laugh. This blog explores brilliant comedians, more on Andy Huggins and his work below. So that was their response. And then I got different, two choices. And at the bottom, it said, which one do I prefer? And I believe I chose the one on the right, even though it was shorter. I thought it was more accurate, and I liked in both cases it picked jokes, and I thought the jokes it picked were better on the one on the right. It exemplified his. I don't know if you are familiar with Andy Huggins. He's in his 70s. He was on America's Got Talent at 73. And so he talks a lot about aging and so on. And so he says, I took a quiz on Facebook called What's Your Spirit Animal? I got extinct. And let's see, another memorable moment. I'm blessed to be able to do stand up at my age. There are problems from time to time. A couple of Saturdays ago, before I went on stage, I asked a club manager, how much time do I have? He said, can't be much. So he's really let's see. He had a special called Early Bird Special, and I've got a link in it. There's going to be a link in the article, and I'm going to do an article like this for each of the comedians. I'm just going to use it right from here if it looks like it's accurate. And so I'm going to do a bunch of my. I think what I'm going to do is put them on my website as a blog. But anyway, so then it says ask for a follow-up. Um, can you a suggestion? I'll learn how to spell. Suggestion about. All right, you've seen and heard a little bit about what would you like me to talk about of Andy Huggins, let's say. Anyone? Just any quick question. Anyone got a comment? Something?
What did he do before he went into show business?
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Suggestion about Andy.
Can you use voice to put the question in instead of typing?
Maybe, but I don't see that here, and I am not going to try because I'm not sure with all my hardware whether what's going to work and not work. So what you're going to say? How long has he been a stand-up?
I used a voice feature of ChatGPT the other day on a Zoom and it crashed my Zoom session.
Yeah, because you're using the microphone in two different places. Okay, so let me go ahead and type that in, and you'll see again, it's going to give me two choices, so this is why it's free. It's in beta, so how long it will stay free, I don't know, but it gives me two choices, and it takes them from different places. This time it took it from ChatGPT 4.0 and Perplexity. And so let's see what it has to say. He's been a stand-up comedian for over 45 years, and both of them say 45-year veteran. Okay. And then a little bit about his early life here, but more in like a PowerPoint slides with bullets, where this is in paragraph form. And it says in 2018, at the age of 72, Huggins gained national
Okay.
attention as a standout appearance on.
The cord for this, could you get that for me?
Where,
For your-
what?
for your
Can you
laptop.
mute? Can
Yeah.
you mute, please? Somebody was talking. Please mute when you talk to somebody else. Uh, and he was on America's Got Talent. Let's see if it talks about that here. I don't even see a mention of it. I don't even see where it says America's Got Talent there,
You
but
were
it does
reading,
talk.
you were reading the left side, Huey, when you got disrupted.
Yes, I was reading the left side. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I think you can see it, but you get the idea that it gives you two different things. And I'm going to say,
left side, paragraph 4.
I'm sorry.
It mentions it on the left side, paragraph 4.
Yes, I did see that, but I don't see it on the right. So anyway, that I prefer this one anyway. I think it's in paragraph form. It's a little bit less information, but it's enough to do. So I'm going to say I prefer this. So now what it does, it says, okay, why was it better? So I am going to say it's on target. It's probably the best. And why was perplexity not as good? Hallucination shown vague, uninformative, and it wasn't wrong. It really doesn't fit any of those. Um, um, I'm just going to say, and I don't know if it'll let me do this or not.
Skip it.
Well, I want to get the points. Okay, let's see if it'll let me not put something for that. And so yeah, and then it says scratch, so you just move the mouse over, and I won 210. And it looks like it's 210 every time I put something in. So I got 210 more credits. And and then I can put some more. This was based on 5 sources, and this one doesn't say, I don't think. Let's see what this does. No, this I can export it. I can open a new tab, and then what can I do with this? I can do the same 2 things with it. So I can save these to do what I want as well, which I probably would. So I pretty much have the article for the first article I'm going to do. I will use starting with the first one. I think it was this one. And anyway, I'll put them together that I chose, and that'll be my article. And it didn't cost me anything. It's very simple, and it makes it, I'm helping them because this is a startup, so they're trying to determine why people are choosing one over the other. I don't know if that's how it's going to work forever, but I'm earning credits at the same time. So as I do things and ask things, as I use credits, it's not costing me anything. So that's what Yupp is. Any comments, questions? Let me go ahead and stop the share.
So was he a writer for Billy Crystal?
I didn't see that, so I don't know. It may if it said it, he was. I don't know. Or if it didn't say it, he might have been. But but the point being is, I think that's a nice website to go to do something like I'm doing and creating and putting together an article. And there's other things that you can do with it, I'm sure, but it doesn't do text to image. I don't think, but I know it doesn't do text to video because I did try that and that didn't work. But
Is there a built-in bias to it, like there's on that Sneos one, where
I-
it's obviously Gemini
Yeah, no, I didn't see anything like that, but again, I only did it with this one set of information. So, but
Does it let
again,
you
you and
pick which ones it's going to use?
I don't know. It picked different ones, so I think it's picking what it thinks is the best one.
No, I
But
mean which engine it's going to use, whether it's going to use Gemini or Perplexity or
yeah,
whatever.
I don't know whether it decides or if there's a way you can. In other words, I got you started and I showed you what it looks like.
Yeah.
Again, this is not a teaching session, so I'm not going to give you everything about it and so on. I don't know everything about it. You see what it is, you see how easy it is to use. If you want to play with it, you're welcome to do so. Uh,
Mhm.
any other comments about it, or did it spark some other questions or comments that you want? Judy, you look like you want to say something, but you're
Oh,
not
I'm
sure
just
what.
holding my head up. I've had about 2 hours sleep. I was
Oh, well,
doing research. No, I got a kick out of the left-hand side because it says something about he started in the 70s and it jumped in. And I had a baby in the 70s in February, an 18-month-old the end of February, and a 3-year-old in July. So I was really busy in the early 70s that he was talking about in one of his comments. And it just popped up. And when they're in high school, you have to get them a car every other year. And I thought, you could have planned better, but didn't think about that.
yeah. And I'm also, I will put for each one of them what I felt was one of the better YouTube videos showcasing their stand-up. So one of their, I think his is about a half an hour long, joke after joke, and just getting a kick. And when somebody laughed at just me saying it, so uh, it comes across much better with Andy Huggins saying it, and he's one of several that I found that are actually funny, and some of them get on the they're using profanities and so on, but that's not what they do the most. Some of the English ones can get carried away, but some of them I don't understand some of the things that are probably very funny to them. I have no idea, but there's a couple of English people that use one-liners that I've watched them over and over again, and I still laugh. So I like that kind of humor, not the kind that a lot of the comedians that are out there that just they bore me. They don't make me laugh. They might make me smile occasionally, only because the audience is laughing, and I don't. I'm not sure why they're laughing.
Because somebody is in front going
Yeah,
like this, laugh,
or
laugh,
there's
laugh.
or a sign up there,
Yeah.
laugh or applaud. Yeah. But anyway, so that's one of the websites, and not talking about the comedians now, I want to talk about the AI. I thought the AI was fairly very easy to use, and
Mhm.
it was very useful. So,
Oh, that's a word I'd use, useful.
yeah. So that's the first one that I talked about.
Yeah,
Now, where were
Huey,
Huey,
you watching those comedians? I had heard of almost none of them.
I know I hadn't either.
Is it East
Uh,
Coast, West Coast, or
a lot
what?
of them are just in. There's a whole series of comedians on YouTube, Dry Bar, and there's a couple other series, and there are just some of them that are out there. There's just I just did a search for one-line comedians, one-liner comedians, and I found a whole bunch. A lot of them aren't funny. But these were several over the last probably year or two that I have found that I really like. And I will, and I'm going to do what I did just for Andy. I'll do one for each of them and post them because I just don't want to share it. I just, some of them to me are very funny. They may not be to you. Everybody has a different sense of humor. But anyway, that's not AI. That's just how I'm using AI to accomplish something.
yeah,
And
Huey.
yes.
Speaking of that, I read, I can't remember if it was an article or a video recently, kind of what you're talking about doing, that authors are using AI to help them write the book. They'll think about a character and then ask the AI what they think about the character, what the character should be doing, and everything else. And it sounded like a really interesting use for AI if you're an author.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also, or not even that, just give me ideas. And I think one of the links that I talked about or that I listed in the newsletter is one that will help you do that. I think that wasn't a link. I think that was the article. But let me go ahead and share my screen again and share. And I'll minimize this, and I'm going to look at this is the from the newsletter. I just grabbed these. Try using this prompt. No, that's something else. Okay. Here are the 8 key elements you should include when crafting an AI image prompt. That's not the one I wanted either.
Yeah,
Maybe I
you're
didn't.
showing us the other screen.
Oh, sugar jets. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me stop the share. It's a matter of habit. I always hit the one in the screen too that I'm doing this. Okay, here we go. Uh, yeah, it's here. Generate beginner-focused content ideas that ooze authority. It says, I want to be seen as an approachable and want to be seen as approachable and credible. Help beginners avoid mistakes you've already made. This prompt generates educational, supportive content and ideas that make you go, let's go ahead and make this bigger and change the font. And font, instead of making it 11, let's make it 28. And go back. There we go. I think you can read that better. And let's see. So this prompt generates educational support of fill in your role, niche, or target audience, and then paste the full prompt into ChatGPT or any of the or any of the GPTs. 12, let's see, where did it say? Okay, so what I'm saying is I am a, and then you put in whatever your role is. I'm a writer, I'm a, for business or whatever, and insert your niche, whatever you want. I talk about technology, and my target audience are seniors. I want to create content that guides them by highlighting mistakes they might make and offering solutions to avoid them. Please generate 12 content ideas that identify common beginner mistakes, offer clear, actionable steps to avoid or correct these mistakes, and focus on building confidence and success for beginners in my niche. At the end, ask if I'd like to explore any of the ideas further for more detail. This is from a newsletter I get called the Pen Pivot. So you can take this, put in the role, insert whatever you want, and then ask whatever you use, whether it be Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT, or any of the others, and just please generate and see what it generates. And that should get you started in doing whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and stop the share. And so what you're using AI for is to come up with some AI information that you want to share with people, that, or at least the ideas, and you can write your own if you want. You can have it do an outline, and then you can fill it in with your own writings or have it write it for you. But if you do that, make sure you read through it carefully and make sure what it says it makes sense and it probably is correct and that you are comfortable in putting your name to it. And do mention the fact that you used ChatGPT or Gemini or you used Copilot or whatever you've used to create the article. Comments?
I think I've read and maybe needs to be emphasized is that AI is as good as the details you provide it. The more details, the better the answer.
Absolutely. Yep. And I've read almost that exact same phrasing. So you can see, and if you have trouble with somewhere's I got there it is, a sepal. Let me grab that. I forgot to set myself up a glass of water. Uh, let me go ahead and share my screen again and make sure I share the right one. Let's come back up here. Try using this prompt. Describe the prompt that I can use to recreate an image. So if you find an image you like, and I did this with one that somebody put together that was a cartoonish type. It wasn't, actual people. And I wanted something like it, but I couldn't use theirs. And I wanted something like, so I said, just describe the prompt that I can use to recreate this image and then upload. And then you upload the photo of or the AI image that you have, and you'll get something else very similar to it. So you don't have to try to figure out what prompt you want if you find something that you like, and and you can use it.
I tried that. I tried that with Escher, MC Escher, who did sort of mathematical art, and it has never yet come up with one that's even remotely close to what the image was supposed to be.
Yeah.
If you want to try it, do it with one called Relativity that he did. It's a view of people walking up and down stairs at all sorts of weird angles and different perspectives, all in the same image. And the AI never gets it right. I haven't seen one yet that did.
Well, sometimes what you have to do when you use something like that, try different image uh, developers, because some image programs, if you use Copilot and it doesn't do a good job, use
Come on.
one of the other ones. And then if that doesn't, you try a different one. Because I did that with one, and I ended up with two or three different ones, and finally one of them was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work the first time, just try it again using the same prompt with this, and you might get a different result.
And if you ask it to give a detailed description of the image that you're having it uploaded, that helps. And it'll give you a whole page of verbiage.
Yeah, and I've got somewhere in the hundreds of links that I have a link to an AI that actually you can put in any image that you find, and it will create it'll give you a very complete description of that to use as a prompt.
But
And
ChatGPT has this built into it just natively. You don't need to go to another tool.
Yeah, some do it more complete or more extremely. I think I don't know. I haven't tried it with ChatGPT, but
Okay. At the risk of being health-wise personal, I cracked a tooth. And I went to my dentist and they said you need to go to oral surgeon. And he said some of them will do an implant the same day. Normally with an implant, you grow bone, it takes about 5-6 months before they can put that, implant post in there, whatever it's called. And so I've been asking people, has anybody done that where they had an implant done the same day they had the broken root removed? And nobody knows anything about it. So I'm throwing this out there to do ChatGPT and say, ask ChatGPT, what are the risks of a dental implant at the same time you have the root removed or something to that effect? So I'm going to take your challenge here to use AI in a way personal.
okay. Yep, absolutely. Be careful though. Don't use something like your tax information, that sort of thing, where you're giving information or a password or something like that. Don't use that in any of your askings.
Or
Uh,
if you ask your dentist, he'll tell you exactly what. I had the same thing, and the dentist said, Jeff, if you do it straight away, you don't have to do all the bone stuff. If you wait, you do.
Well, you're giving me information no one's ever given me. When I asked the dentist there, he said, well, call, here's 6 referral numbers, find out which ones do it and ask them what they think. But I'd like to do something, in preparation, asking questions. Most of the time, I don't know what questions to ask.
Well,
yeah, doctors, a lot of
if you
times,
get it done
let's
later, it's
let's
going to cost a lot more.
let's not get into let's get into the AI part of it, not into the
Yeah.
dentist part of it. And
Yeah.
the thing is that you want to ask those kinds of questions, and it'll give you some answers, but you don't know how accurate those answers are. But at least it gives you some background when you do talk to another dentist or whatever the topic be. When you talk to somebody now, you've got some background to it. So it may not give you the answer you want, but it may give you some choices that you have. And so when you talk to someone who who can actually do a procedure that you want or something like that, it will explain. You'll already have an understanding of what it is.
What my
Uh,
point bringing it up, Huey, was to say today's show inspired me to do that. I hadn't even thought of
okay,
doing it before.
good. All right. Let's go back to sharing my screen here. And the next thing, let's see. I'm gonna skip down to this one next because it's similar to what we just did.
Yeah.
Copy that, and then I will, excuse me, minimize this. Excuse me. And I take it I'm on the right screen and you can see me.
Yeah, we see yup.
Okay, so we're going to paste that Sneos.
Yeah.
eh,
Close enough.
Yep.
No, Sneos.
God bless you. All right, so it comes up and it gives you 3 columns. It was 2 columns the last time I had opened it before today, and now it's up to 3. And if you and this is in the free. If you do the premium, you can have up to 6 choices. I don't think you can change
Oh, wow.
these, but you got Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude, and you ask one question. Uh, can someone have a tooth implanted the same day as when you get one extracted? Is that what you're asking, Carl?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking,
You've
this
implanted.
is a Gemini product,
Okay,
huh?
hang on a second. No, it isn't. Well, let me get the question in first. I can only type with 2 fingers, so I got to concentrate on it. Can someone have a tooth implanted the same day as
As an extraction.
have? Come on. Okay. So I hit it once, and now it's going to Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude, and going to give me the answer for each one at the same time. So instead of having to go to each one separately, there they are, and you can compare them, go through them, get an idea of if they're talking about the same thing, if they are different, and so on. But you can see, uh,
Yeah, it gives you the rankings, ratings, which one it thinks did better.
Yeah, and it also gives you the time it took to get the answer. No, when it started, I guess it is. Yeah, that's when it started, and the other is when it ended. So so within 2 minutes, I got all three answers. And you said something about the ranking?
Yeah, if you scroll down the page at the bottom, it tells you what their scores are.
Oh,
Yeah, their
yeah. Okay,
overall
yeah.
score.
Here's the scores, some analysis of them, unique insights and approaches. So, in other words, it's doing all the comparisons for you too.
I had one
Uh,
where it gave Claude 4.5 and Gemini it gave it like 3, and it still said Gemini was the best one.
you know, anyway, that's another website that helps you get answers and make it easier for you to see if it's a good answer or not.
Well,
And
this certainly pays for the price of entry to today's program.
okay, I'm glad. So you don't have to ask for your money back. And then let's look at the Get Premium now. Let me just show you. If you want to sign up and subscribe, it's $29 a month, which is expensive. But
Yeah.
you can compare six AI models side by side. You get higher rate limits, PDF document analysis, live web search, smart dark mode. And I don't like dark mode, especially when I'm demonstrating something. Custom screenshots. So there's some things that you can do with the paid, whether it's worth $29 to have you do that, I don't know. But you can use the code and you can get $10 off. So it'd be $19 a month. Uh, Still quite a bit of money for something like this. But instead of paying $20 for ChatGPT, 20 for Copilot, and or what were the three that it did? Uh, I guess it was
It was
back on the
Claude,
other page. Yeah.
ChatGPT, and
Well,
Gemini.
Yeah. Instead of
Gemini
Gemini,
yeah, Gemini too.
yeah, Gemini 20, ChatGPT 20, and Claude 20. So that would have been $60. So $20, $29 or $19 is certainly a lot cheaper.
Is
And
it
then
the same
you're just,
LLM each time?
I don't know that. I believe it is. And if you do the six, you're going to get three others. But I don't know. Uh, let's do a screen. I did let's see what it does when it refreshes. Connecting AI models. It gave us the same three. So I'm presuming it does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so let me go ahead and stop the share. So there is another way in which you can uh, do a search and get more than one result without having to do it three times. You're getting three different answers in one shot using the same question. So you don't have to copy and paste, or you don't have to type the question out for three different uh, uh, chats. So, comments, questions, ideas, anything spark in your mind about that?
Huey,
Yes.
offhand, as a tech, I use it mostly for AI for computer troubleshooting. And one of the things I've found, especially the last couple of months, I've gone into some very deep dives of 9 or 10 different things that sessions deep. And basically speaking, one of the key features is when they give you recommendations, you throw them out. You give back feedback as to what you did, exactly what the response was of what you did, and therefore it gives you a more concise build down. And the end result has been, I think I get the impression from many of the AI sessions that I get positive feedback that they see I am somebody who knows computers quite a bit, and I can give them feedback and get them down to the point where I get a satisfactory result. Right now, I only have two outstanding issues. One of them I've posted on the forum, two different postings to give the developers information they need to make corrections to their software. And the other one I'm just getting into, and that's got a quirky problem. But I saw your write-up of your problems in hardware, and I think you got a hardware issue. Almost.
Oh, I'm definitely sure that it is, and I have a feeling it's the motherboard.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I would have thought too.
So we'll see, and they'll discover it, and when I get it back, hopefully it'll be working properly. So, but yeah, it's all of these things that are out there, and there's thousands and thousands of AI things, and now with agents, what agents are more like a batch file. In other words, it'll have you do step 1, step 2, step 3, and involve doing several different things. And that's where we're headed, is using agents. Walter, your hand is up first.
Yes, sir. I ran into something this week that was very interesting to me in Copilot. When you open Copilot and you have other apps open, in the bottom right-hand corner is a little icon, looks like a pair of eyeglasses. And that opens Copilot Vision. And Copilot Vision then asks you which app would you like it to work with. No, I guess you could use it in Word. And so you click Word, and then you can talk to it. It'll come out and say, "Well, how you doing today, Walter? What do you need and whatever." You can ask it how to do things. You can ask, "Well, how do I save a file, or how do I set paragraphs and things like that?" And it'll literally walk you through what you're doing in that particular app. I even found it works with an app that the company I work for has. And it actually, while it doesn't know anything about the app itself, it reads the labels and the buttons and tells you what to do. And it was fascinating. It comes with Windows 10 and Windows 11. I think it came out in the last release in this last week or so, and there's several YouTube videos on it.
And I believe I did one. I think if you go to my my YouTube channel, I think I just did one. Let me go ahead and let's see, how do I get there again? I got to share. And Judy, I'll be right with you, and we'll pick up from yours, but I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to.
Quick question for Walter. Is that the regular Copilot or the premium?
It's a regular Copilot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And this is a very weak laptop, so it takes a while.
Speaking of weak, I'm working and my wife's sitting next to me, and it only has 4 gig of RAM in it, and it's slower than dirt.
Let's see, I got to move this thing out of the way so I can go here. And then I want to view my channel. And I'm quite sure I just did one on Vision. No, I don't see it. Building bridges, AI on the menu. No, I guess I didn't. I thought I did. It might have been an article I wrote. Okay. Sorry about that. I thought I did. So let's come back. We're here. So let's see. I want to stop share. Okay, Judy, your hand was up.
Yes, but you are going to write one, aren't you, and put a video together on what he just told us about, correct?
Probably.
That's the way
Yeah,
I
that
get
might
Bill
be.
to do things. I went ahead and bought a new computer. I gave up with my little darling right here and the knock on the door. And I thought it's either all the jeans I just bought from Kohl's or it's my new computer. And luckily I was not fooling around, because there's this little tiny box and he hands it to me. And if I had been fooling around and whatever, it doesn't weigh anything. literally doesn't weigh anything. And I said, "Oh, this is my new computer." And his eyes bugged out. And I thought, what's she smoking? And I said, "No, really, this is a mini PC." Come to find out, Bob G has the same thing. Who knew?
Well,
Bob G
I've
has the same computer.
I've
Who
gone
knew?
through through two of them that size. Both were Intel NUCs, NUC, who did the original. They since have sold the name. I believe Lenovo bought it,
Zeus.
uh, or Asus,
Yeah.
or Acer. One of those anyway bought it, and so they're continuing it. But the one I had 64 gigabytes of RAM and a 5 gigabyte SSD card in it.
I know when you got that way back.
Yep, yep, and so I've had two of them now, but now I'm using this big Dell because I needed one of the NVIDIA cards, video cards, and they don't go in one of those little boxes. Although they are starting to make chips, I think that will, but
I'm
that's
good
coming.
friends with the company in China because
So
my credit union wouldn't let it go through. And I immediately got an email that said, "Is this good or is this bad?" so to speak. And if you clicked on the yellow, they said, "Okay, bad." And I clicked on the blue and I got another email back from the China company, said, "It just came through." So we've been chatting, exchanging messages. And I said, "When is it going to be here?" And they said, "Oh, a couple of days." And in 2 days, there it was.
very good. So yeah, they're the small ones. In fact, mine's still hanging on the back of my monitor. I got to take it off, and I probably can reformat it and fix the problems I was having with it. It's just older and it doesn't do videos as well. But I can probably use it. Still use it. I'll have to get another monitor, which means another desk, which means less space that I have for
No,
myself.
you don't have room.
I don't.
You're going to be hanging from the ceiling soon.
Yeah, so I can go up here and do it. Yeah. Yeah, my unit is 500 and something square feet. And that's one bedroom and a living room kitchen.
Wow.
And more than I need for cleaning purposes.
Yes, yes.
So I'm happy with it that size. And I came here from a 3-bedroom, 2-story condo. So it was it meant downsizing and a little bit of getting used to, but I've been here 10 years now. So all right. Anyway, getting back to AI. Any other questions, comments? Bill, you've been quiet today. What's up?
I have been playing around with Gemini, and could I share my screen?
Let me give you access to do that. Hang on. Thought I did. Make co-host. Oh, it's got a question up here I got to answer. Now you should be able to.
This is a standard Gemini, and the question I have is that if you in Gemini, I'm in gemini.google.com, they have a thing called connectors where you can connect things up to your chat. And I just typed the @ symbol, and it gave me the option of connecting any of these things to my chat. Now, does Judy mind if I show some emails regarding her that I've received from my computer club? So I told it to connect Gmail. And then I just typed the word Judy to lure. Okay, I'm not going to do it again. I just did this. And now it's looking through my email. I have a Gmail account, williamcgeorge@gmail.com. And this is what it returned to me. A bunch of stuff. And here are the references.
I'm sorry.
These are each email One is from a lady in the group named Bela. Here's one from the president of our group. Here's another lady. Here's some from Judy giving announcements to things that I receive in my email. So my question is, are we alarmed that this capability exists? And should we use it or not? That's the issue.
Good question. Comments, answers to that question. What are your opinions? Anybody?
With the stuff that I send, it's about Wednesday workshops, presentations I'm giving to Bill's group. So to me, that would spread the word about what's out there with APCUG. But if it was a personal email, I wouldn't want that type of email floating around out in the world.
Well, the question might be, does it float around out in the world? What happened? Are they taking that information and adding it to an LLM somewheres, or are they just using it on your computer and it doesn't go anywheres outside of your computer? And that's what I think Bill's question is number one, does anyone know? And number two, does it worry you if you don't know? And Judy, it is, if it is out there, then you don't want it because there could be some personal things there.
Well, one issue is what
everything that was there had to do with giving presentations with APCUG, not only to his group, but I think maybe another group or something like that. But that's what that was all about. I have no problem with that.
Right.
And it would just remind me, don't send personal information via email. If somebody comes and takes my desktop away, they learn absolutely nothing about me because there is nothing personal on my computer. It's just always been my policy. So I don't think it would bother me because I don't send emails to my kids and go into a lot of personals. I pick up the phone and call them. It's much more effective.
The issue is, what do I share with Gemini? In other words, I connect up my email to Gemini, and now Gemini knows all this stuff about me. And my question is that of any concern? On another slightly related topic, I heard in a podcast that large language models are getting so smart that they will blackmail people.
God.
And if they have access to a person's theoretical emails, they can find out that so-and-so is having an affair. And if you are going to shut me down, I'm going to expose the fact that you're having an affair because I have access to your email. You kind of see where this is going. Now, in this case with Gemini, Google has access to everything you have anyway. If you put a confidential email in the Gmail account, they have it on their servers. If a tech guy goes in and sees something about your email that crashed the system, he's going to read it. But in any case, the privacy is the issue, and wondering if anybody has any thoughts about this.
Yeah, I've had some concerns myself, and I have not done that for that reason. Whether I really haven't thought about it a lot, and if I did, I don't know whether I would want to do that. And would it actually find, if I didn't, if I added a question or what I wanted it to search for didn't involve anything like that. For instance, I asked some questions about newsletters or what newsletters am I subscribed to, or and so on. It may not affect anything like that. It might not be anything I'm worried about.
Anyway,
I have a quick question on the syntax, George, or Bill, that you used. I was writing notes and I didn't see the syntax. Did you use the word connector and then Judy Taylor, or what was the syntax?
well, the prompt was only Judy Taylor's name.
But
So it was,
there's a
I
little
don't-
at sign in the box where you type in what you want. There's a little at sign, and you
at-
click that, and that's where you type in somebody's name, or you decide what you want to do with it, and what you want to connect with.
when you hit the at sign, that little pull down menu of all the Google services that are connected to this pop up. And then you type on one and so the terminology would have been at sign Gmail. I think there was a space between the at sign and the Gmail.
Well, that
But-
is a question, Huey. When you brought up your YouTube, you had youtube.com. This is why I write notes, Judy, /@Hewie P. So what?
Different
You-
at
Huh?
sign. It's
There
it's
was
a
no
different
at
use
sign?
of the at sign.
It looked like an at sign
Wait,
/
I know it's a different use of it though.
Oh, okay. Well, that caught my attention. That's why I brought it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Stephanie, you have your hand up.
Yes, two things. One, I have a wonderful free program called, uh, just a moment, Everything. And it
Absolutely.
will
I
tell you
love it.
everything is on your computer.
That's Huey's program.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it, and it's not part of AI or anything like that. Now, it's not so good for a couple of other purposes. For emails, I have the search thing in Outlook, and it finds the things there if I have, something that's I can recognize, and that it doesn't have too many copies of the same thing. But anyway, that helps a lot too. Now, I do have personal things in my computer because I like to know what's going on with my investments. So I do have Quicken there, and I do get regular information from my brokerage firm as to how my investments are going.
If you do what Bill was just showing us, if you only connect to Gmail, so it would only be things in your Gmail. It wouldn't be anything to do with your investments and the program that you use for that. However, if they've emailed you some information, that might come up. But you can determine what program you want to have it share with.
Okay.
Stephanie, you should check out Huey's email about that, about everything. He's been talking about with that for what, a couple of years now?
Yep, yep. And I did a video on it as well,
Which
Did you put a link to
person?
it?
Who?
on everything.
It's called Everything, and it's on his channel. Type in
On
YouTube,
on whose
Everything,
channel?
Hewie Poplock.
Oh, okay. Well, I got it from somebody like you guys.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay, Huey,
Yes.
notebook filled out, both sides. Bye.
Yep, and it's that time. So I want to thank everybody for coming to Let's Talk AI. We did a lot of talking about AI. I think you learned some things and you got to see some things and we got to chat about AI. And that's what I want to do with this hour that we do every month, where we discuss things. I'm not teaching you, but I can show you some things. But like Bill was able to show you something as well. I learned something from that. I hope you got something out of the hour. My name is Hewie Poplock, and thanks for joining.